The craziest thing is my life, it was so organic.
Welcome to Guilty by Association or Innocent Until Proven Scammy.
Nothing about it was forced at all. And everything, I was just in almost like a simple-minded flow state my whole life.
So what we have here is just another name on the list of podcasters that have a literal, dangerous, predatory cult leader on without having the balls to even ask, yo dude, what is with the commotion around you?
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
If you've never heard of the term lolcow, let me explain it to you from the way that I understand it. So there's different people that exist, and people watch them because they are a lolcow. They are a cow full of lulls. You watch them because they are train wrecks. You watch them because they lie so much that it's hilarious. They are their own worst enemy. So the first person you saw that was on screen was Brandon Schwab. This is Mersh from ROTC. The next one you're going to see is Owen Benjamin. Now, I don't know what Mersh was doing during 2020, during the worldwide pandemic of 2020. I don't know what Brandon Schwab was doing during the worldwide pandemic of 2020, but I do know what Owen Benjamin was doing during the worldwide pandemic of 2020. But before we get there, I do want to say that this reminds me, because the reason why that there's a subreddit to Owen Benjamin, and it's called the official anti-Owen Benjamin subreddit. This reminds me of the old saying, if one person calls you a horse, don't worry about it. Now, mind you, I want to point out that there was 5,000 plus members of that Owen Benjamin official anti-Owen Benjamin subreddit, okay? So this reminds me of the old saying, if one person calls you a horse, don't worry about it. If two people call you a horse, start thinking about it. And if three people call you a cult-leading horse, start looking for some mother flipping horse hockey.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Like, make the dicks go away.
Whoa. I apologize. That was definitely not the bean footage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Guys, I wasn't going to start looking into bear trail stuff, but the perfect one is for sale. And the Patreon lawsuit is so absurd, I don't want it to hold me up anymore. Bear Target, yeah. I mean, they're literally, their entire lawsuit against the Bears is that because they logged in after they changed their terms of service, they then have to, dude, half of them were already in arbitration before they changed their terms. They're just trying to get us to pay fees. It's stupid. It'll be fine.
It, in fact, was not fine.
But anyway, there is a compound, 50,000 square feet, 20, 30 separate buildings, full functional wilderness camp, North Idaho, $1.5 million, 210 or 211 acres. So I was thinking, just throwing this out there, let me know what you guys think. Do you think we could raise the money for that? If 5,000 people chipped in $400, and in return, they got 2 weeks there, any 2-week vacation they want, would that be possible?
Now, he says, do you think that 5,000 people can chip in? 5,000 people, $400. In exchange, you get this. That literally is services or goods in exchange for money. Now, that's the important key to this. That is an investment opportunity during the worldwide pandemic of 2020. Now, the funny thing about that is he did not follow through. The definition of a scam.
It sounds scammy, but it really isn't. If we don't reach our amount, we'll give it back. If shit keeps getting crazy, I think cashing out IRAs ain't a crazy idea. Right, definitely. I think it's a no-brainer. If you're going to donate at least $400, throw a bear emoji in the chat. Okay, B. Yes, I am. Yeah, $1,000. Yes. B. Yes. Dude, guys, you think we can do this? Yes. I think we can get it. What do you guys think? You think this will do it? Because if not, I'll return it. That's why checks are real easy. If you go cash, I don't know. I mean, thank you. I will try to I won't be able to keep track of it as easily. If we don't hit our mark, I'm not going to keep your money. I promise. It'll just be really sad.
So I do want to stop here and say I do not know this guy who calls himself Young Joe Rogan. Never heard of him before. He gave a platform to Owen Benjamin without even asking him why so many people hold him accountable for so many heinous acts. I did find out during this interview, if you want to call it that he is in his early 20s. Scientifically speaking, your brain does not normally fully develop until the mid to late 20s, so maybe he just doesn't know or can't really understand the situation. That is why I'm doing this video. We have already gone over the land scam. Now, I'm going to play a little bit of the interview, let you see just kind of how the interview went, and then we're going to get into the problematic aspects of Owen Benjamin's speech whenever it comes to children.
Just because I was good at making arguments and rhetoric and making, persuasion, speaking in a way that people can understand. And sometimes it's funny, like people think you're stupid when you talk in a way that people understand. And I find that, I think it has to do with what someone's goal is. Is the goal to transfer information or to look smart? And my goal is always to accomplish the goal, not to look like I know what, anti-disestablishmentarianism means or SUNY Plattsburgh. And because I had a really high test scores and stuff. It's so funny. Like I'm the guy that actually knows what's happening right now. I always thought my major was useless, but not anymore. It's actually comparable to like porn stars. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like that.
The professional side of the porn industry.
Yeah. It's like, how about your dog just died and you feel hopeless and now you have to like pretend you're like a babysitter and you love, And it's like, that was my skill and my friends could see that and they're like, but I didn't. And so we leave even before the trans kid thing. We leave because I'm like, this isn't a good environment for my son. And all
right, so I do want to stop right there for just a second and say that pretty much is true. Owen did leave Hollywood before the whole child controversy situation. Now, one thing that he continuously lies about is he says that he's the only one that stood up for that controversial subject. And that's simply not true. You can go check out one of the 3 podcasts that he did with Joe Rogan on JRE, the actual Joe Rogan, not this dude trying to ride the coattails of Joe Rogan with the old search engine trick of the young Joe Rogan. That's just crazy. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. I would pick another name, the young Joe Rogan. That's just a little weird. Especially, I mean, how do people refer to you? Do they say, "Hey, what's up, the young Joe Rogan"? That's strange. I mean, is it any stranger than people calling me the Texas Goat or Texas Goat Radio? I would say, yeah, it is a little bit stranger because, I mean, at least mine's original. And you're literally the young Joe Rogan. I would imagine your name's not Joe Rogan. And so that's just strange. Anyways, I've probably already said this. I don't know who this guy is. And so I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. And it is kind of a difficult situation given the context of this situation. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling. I probably am. Okay, so let's just go back a half a second. And so, yeah, Owen lies about saying that he was the only one sticking up for the whole controversial children's issue. And that's not true. I've already said that. Now, he did move out of Hollywood. That is true, before the whole child controversy. Now, one thing that he is neglecting to say is if you go to the Owen Benjamin subreddit, not the Owen Benjamin subreddit, if you go to a comedy subreddit and type in Owen Benjamin, a post from 6-7 years ago will pop up. And it's Owen Benjamin saying why a famous LA comedian would leave. And he literally tells you the jobs were drying up. They were given jobs to Instagram models or Vine models or whatsoever. And so that's one of the reasons that led him into the Christian grift, the right-wing grift. And so let's just get back to this interview.
You in the media, all my buddies that I used to think were my friends are, like Theo Vaughn, Whitney Cummings, Bert Kreischer, like all these guys are like talking shit now. Rogan stages an intervention on me saying that I should run my tweets past him. I get kicked off Twitter, kicked off Facebook, kicked off Instagram, I've been kicked off shit most people don't even know exists. Like,
yeah, you're the most bad man in America, dude.
Yeah, Venmo.
That's how it feels like.
YouTube, all YouTube clips channels. I can't have a YouTube channel of just me playing the piano. And people are like, well, what did he do? I was right about shit.
So this is one of the most ridiculous things about Owen Benjamin. He always talks about accountability and whatnot. You can go into the comment section of the young Joe Rogan's video. And one thing about his title for this video is he ends it with "I guess," which I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I thought it was maybe a little bit of a passive-aggressive kind of nudge towards Owen, because he's aware that Owen Benjamin is in fact a liar. But going back to what Owen said. So he said, why did I get kicked off all of that? Well, it's because I was right about stuff. Well, he used a different word. That's because he cannot control his tongue. Anyways, he said that he was right about a bunch of stuff. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life, because he was right. He acts as though, and this goes back to the whole cult leader thing. One of the things cult leaders have to do is they have to act as though they have to present themselves as though they are unique. You have to come to them for that unique factor that makes them them. That's one of the reasons why he lies about his height. He continuously says, I'm 6'8". And the only way that's possible is if he grew an inch, at least an inch, after he left Hollywood. And it's just, and there's so many people. I say there's so many people. There's probably 20 who, and like I said, go to this comment section, the young Joe Rogan's comment section. And one of them, I just read it just a minute ago. He says, I've literally never caught Owen Benjamin in a lie. Well, you're either an idiot or you're not paying attention. Let's get back to this interview.
It's one reason why I might have a chip on my shoulder sometimes. I really do think most of them are disgusting.
So did anyone actually stand by you?
The people that just didn't trash me, I consider they stood by me. I mean, I was just with a famous comedian recently that I was close with, and he was apologizing. And I was like, bro, you did nothing wrong. Like, we're not in a gang. Like, you don't have to blood in, blood out. Like, you don't have to like fight for me. I'm like, I'll always remember the people that lied, the people that put that dagger in.
So the question posed by the young Joe Rogan was, did anybody stand next to you? And what was Owen's response? Not one name. Didn't name drop one person. Do you know why? Because he can't. He literally can't name one person. It's not that nobody stood next to him. He had plenty of friends. People reached out to him. He did not accept their help. Now, I don't really have any proof for that, besides the fact that multiple people said that they were reaching out. It's one of those things where you kind of just zoom out and you take the information as you can get it. But he didn't mention one name. Now, the only person that I think that you could go back, the one person that he did single out was his co-star from Sullivan and Sons. Oh, I can't think of his name right now, but it honestly doesn't matter. Owen couldn't say his name, and the reason why is because people don't want to be associated with Owen anymore. They did at one point in time, but they simply do not anymore. And whose fault is that? It's Owen's. And I guarantee you it's not because Owen was right. It's because he is a disgusting, filthy, dangerous, predatory cult leader who ran an investment scam during a worldwide pandemic. Let's get back to the interview.
Like, I'm past it. And so as time went on, I realized that you only control what you create. And so we created unauthorized.tv, me and Vox Day.
And not to mention the cult that we've already gone over. It's definitely a cult, and it's definitely an investment scam. So there's two things that he created that he just neglects to mention. And that's one thing, that's one of the reasons that motivate me to do these videos, especially when Owen is given a platform, are people like this young fellow over to the left who give Owen a platform, but he just doesn't have the balls to say, hey dude, why? What's up with this? Just give him a little 15, 20 second answer. At the very least, instead of just flat out ignoring the evidence, the overwhelming evidence. Let's get back to the interview.
Yeah, dude. It seems like, you've been kicked out of like the mainstream and kicked off of all these companies, but at the end of the day, you're in a much better place than almost everybody in the A-list celebrity status, because you do have a family, you have a real community. And like you said, you realize that kind of building your own independent thing is much more sustainable, and you have that cult following that will actually follow you and listen to you because they authentically connect with you. I feel like they trust you too, because...
All right, so this is one of the most frustrating parts of this interview that I've come across so far. Because the dude, whoever the young Joe Rogan is, I'll be respectful because people call me the Texas Goat. The young Joe Rogan. I mean, that's cringe AF, as foretold, but I mean, this dude's sitting here literally telling Owen Benjamin, hey, yeah, I mean, you've got a cult following and they trust you and all that kind of stuff. Just blowing smoke up Owen's butt. And at a certain point, you have to. I was watching Liz's live stream last night and just listening to her be as honest as she was about her opinions of these people that have Owen Benjamin on their platform. It is, in my opinion, 100% disgusting, especially if if you're aware of the things that Owen Benjamin has done and said with absolutely zero accountability, with him continuously lying about it, and then the members of his cult, the Bears, continuously lie. Just the other day, one of the Bears popped up on a comment that I had left, talking about the marrying 12-year-olds comment that Owen said. Now, and this is the direct, well, I'm going to play it here just a second. Let's just go ahead and go to that, shall we? This is the problematic statements by Owen Benjamin about children.
Does the Bible say 18 shall be the age of consent? No, not even close. Marriage, guys, marriage is the age of consent. Marriage. Marrying a 12-year-old in an agrarian society is infinitely more moral than a random 18-year-old and never talking to her again.
News about human beings. Human beings are motivated by morality. That's why you have to lie.
Okay, so in that clip, the person asks Owen, so in the Bible, is the age of consent 18? Is the age of consent 18? Owen Benjamin clearly says no, aggressively, loudly, clearly. And then he says it is better to marry a 12-year-old than it is to sleep with an adult woman. Now, I will add, he used the word agrarian and the term, the situation of never calling the grown woman ever again. Now, my question is, if you had a 12-year-old daughter and you had an adult daughter, would you rather your 12-year-old daughter be married to an adult man, let's just say Owen, or would you rather your adult daughter have consensual relations on her own terms with a grown man? I don't think that that's even kind of a close situation. I think 99.9% of the people that are listening to this right now would choose the adult daughter to be able to choose instead of marrying your 12-year-old. And another thing that I'll add is that in the stipulation with the 12-year-old, he says that it's not, do I want to say the word? It's not PDF if the child has entered puberty. Now, scientifically, it is possible for a child to enter puberty at 8 years old. And so theoretically speaking, of course, Owen Benjamin could potentially argue the fact that he's saying, oh, is she 8 years old? Well, has she had her period yet? Wife them up. All of these people, including the young Joe Rogan, sticking up for Owen Benjamin, giving him a platform, giving him the encouragement to keep lying, is insane with the video evidence of the scam of 2020. And besides, there's two things that motivate me to hold the pressure on Owen and anybody else that tries to give him a platform without even getting close to the problematic nature of Owen Benjamin, are the two aspects of the landscape of 2020 during a worldwide pandemic. That's disgusting. That is horrendous behavior. That is predatory. That is disgusting. He took advantage of a whole lot of people, making so many promises. Go check out Milker Nation's 10-hour documentary on Rumble. It's whenever I say disgusting, that's exactly what I mean. And then the things that he says about children. in an agrarian society. Do you know why I don't use the word agrarian whenever I quote him in that? Is because he claims to live an agrarian. He claims that he is promoting that type of society. And so that's his reality. That's what he's promoting anyway. And so to all of you that want to justify Owen Benjamin's disgusting nature, the things that he has done that he should very well be held accountable for, how? How can you justify that? Are you equally as disgusting and depraved as Owen Benjamin? Are you weak and pathetically manipulated by Owen Benjamin because he is a quote-unquote celebrity, or he used to be? I won't take that away from Owen. He got more success in Hollywood than 99.9% of the people that move there. And so I'm just going to go ahead and end this. We're 20 minutes in. To the young Joe Rogan, I hope that the bear goggles fall off your face and you see Owen Benjamin for exactly who he is. To all of you bear cult enthusiasts out there, or at least the adjacent ones, and the ones that proclaim Big Daddy Bear to be your Lord and Savior, the only unslaughterable golden calf, I hope and pray your bear goggles fall off as well. This is the Texas Goat Radio Show. As always, till next time.